Hi there, I'm Mark Isero, and welcome to Article Club. Thank you so much for listening. We are a reading community of thoughtful people that discusses one great article every month on race, education, or culture, along with the author. We just finished up our 20th month, our 20th article, and I just want to thank everyone who showed up for the discussion we had last Sunday. It was a really good one. We focused on How to Name Your Black Son in a Racist Country by Tyrone Fleurizard. It brought up a ton of issues, and already several of you have reached out to share your appreciation for the conversation. And I just want to say that I'm grateful, too, for all of you, and also to facilitators Sarai, Summer, and Elise, and of course to Mr. Fleurizard for saying yes to Article Club and for sharing your thoughts on the podcast episode a week or two ago. So thank you all for a really just yet another great discussion. So this is also meant to be a really quick episode, but one thing that people have been asking for is more of my thoughts about the articles. And I'll say personally that I'm much more interested in what you all have to say and what we have to say together, but I get it. It does make sense that I share at least a little bit, and especially because I'm the person who chooses most of the articles in the first place. So for this one, there's so much that I could say about the content of this piece for the issues that it raises. But what got me to choose this piece in the first place was the writing. It was just really powerful and provocative right from the beginning for me, especially how Mr. Fleurizard uses the second person imperative voice. I mean, I just haven't read anything exactly like it. And I appreciated how Mr. Fleurizard in our podcast episode gave credit to Gerald Walker and said he modeled his essay after that piece and got inspiration for the essay from Professor Walker's How to Make a Slave. I haven't read that piece by Professor Walker, but I'm going to definitely check it out because the imperative voice, it just was just really, really unique. And it wasn't just the imperative voice, it was the tension that Mr. Fleurizard built right from the beginning and quickly into the piece. After a few paragraphs, I realized that the you wasn't me, the reader, but rather his dad. But even so, I felt really implicated, and in some ways, that makes sense because Mr. Fleurizard ultimately is implicating the immigrant industrial complex. And I have to say, I'm an indirect beneficiary of it as a descendant of white European immigrants who took advantage of and benefited from the quote unquote American dream. I was really impressed with Mr. Fleurizard's ability to keep up the tension in the piece and not to let his dad go free, I guess, and not to let me go either. So it's a piece that I'm going to remember for some time. So anyway, that's a little bit about my thoughts about the article. And even though we're officially done with this piece, I'd love to talk more about the article if you want to. So please let me know. All right, a couple more things before I close. One is that if you're listening but have not joined a discussion yet at Article Club, I welcome you. Next month's selection, which I'll reveal next week on Article Club, it's going to be a great one. So I urge you to get on in. And if you have any questions about me or how Article Club works, please reach out at mark@highlighter.cc. Okay, the second thing is that if you have feedback to improve Article Club, the discussions or the post or really anything, please let me know because I like hearing from you, and I think that all of our experience will be better if we just sort of continue to build our reading community. Okay, finally, the third thing is that if you appreciate Article Club, it would be great if you could tell your friends about it, or really about the Highlighter too, which is the newsletter where all the articles come from. So for more information on any of that, that's over at the website highlighter.cc. Most of all, though, thank you so much for listening and have a great week.